Win or go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC Wildcard game. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. Here's Gibson to start the drive. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be second down. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Back to throw, Howell. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Return there, give him an even 20 yards. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. To get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. The first carry now for Tony Pollard. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. How about Jonathan Allen there pushing upfield to make the stop behind the line?
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. To throw is Prescott. And this ball is caught by Lamb. Touchdown, Dallas. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Cowboys will strike first here in this wild card matchup. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
2nd and 8 coming from the 19. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. Throwing again on 2nd down. Howell. This is caught by his tight end, Logan Thomas. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A first down there on a pickup of 25. So a nice throw right there. And this, we all know, a big test for this young man at quarterback. He guided his team into the playoffs as a wild card. And now here he is on the road looking to get his guys to the second round. It's certainly a tough task no matter how you slice it.
Oh, I absolutely agree 100%. And while no one around the franchise is going to, co-sign on what I'm about to say, because all they're focused on is winning this game. But let's face it, partner, no matter what happens in this one, they've got their quarterback to build their roster around for the future. That's got to feel good for everyone associated with this team.
The play fake, and now here's how to throw it. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. That's Anthony Barr coming in from his linebacker spot to bring him to the ground.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
Good running right there. And this is a man who was a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances, and he picks up nice yardage on that one.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They'll send the tight end in motion left. Howell throwing on 3rd down here. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. Sly able to put this one through. Well, Charles, the NFL record is 66 yards. That was 5 shy of that, but only a handful of guys have ever connected from 61 or deeper, and he can add his name to the list.
Yeah, more and more guys are trying it. That doesn't mean the success rate has gone up. That is a long kick. Guaranteed, when he turns on his phone after the game, a ton of congratulatory texts will be awaiting him.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Well, the football changing hands here, and as this offense takes the field, Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage, while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Throwing, Prescott. He's got his man, Schultz, coming across the formation. And they got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
Big plays always wind up being a big theme as we get rolling these playoffs, and the defenses that can avoid giving them up, where they're the teams that tend to go far. You may not eliminate those big plays, but if you can limit them, then you've got a chance to get to the ultimate game.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Looking to throw. Prescott. They'll drop this underneath to Pollard. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And they're knocking on the door now as a good run there. Going to take this to about the 10-yard line. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge.
And a lot of times, these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Prescott to throw it. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Moore able to put this one through. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the two teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone. And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out. Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. It seemed like he kept going through those progressions, and I thought he might dump that underneath, but he couldn't get rid of the football in time. And I have to wonder if he was thinking while he was back there, I wish there were a lot less progressions on this play, just someone that I can dump the ball to and get it out of my hands. Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And the lead is now 17-3. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result had he opted for the touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing. Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated. So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Powell, and an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. Well, so far on this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down? Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Powell down to throw it. And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them. Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw, because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational. Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air and defensively. They were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw. On 3rd down, it's Pollard. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4. Now that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the 1st down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one, as it's good from 56 yards out. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play. And some room to maneuver. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC Wildcard matchup as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. Fielded right around the 8. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the run in a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But if they run it more effectively, they may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line. On play action, Prescott going to take a shot for Gallup. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. Well, look, this is a team, Charles, they've faced adversity all year long. They had to fight and claw to win that division, but they're putting it all together here in the wild card game.
Feels like a statement, doesn't it? An absolute statement game, a message to the top seeds. Overlook us at your own peril. We're pretty darn good.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
A throw over the middle taken in. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. They'll throw on first down. Here's Howell. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Howell throwing on first down here toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Powell. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
He was trying to hit Thomas that time, and it's 3rd down. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And the Cowboys are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Again, it's Elliott. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Prescott on 3rd and 2. Cole Holcomb proving too much there for the offensive line. He gets the sack. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack. And now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout. And that's going to leave them with just 1 timeout remaining still in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them. We'll be back. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this 2nd half. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Coming across the field, he finds Dotson. And he's going to have a Commander's 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Powell to the air on 1st and 10. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Trayvon Diggs, usually known for interceptions. Here, he gets the sack.
He already did his primary job with an interception earlier, but here, he gets a chance to be a pass rusher and takes on the challenge of blitzing and makes another big play. That's something to file away and maybe break out later in this one or in a future game.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Out left to Dotson. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and it'll be 4th down. Field goal unit and Joey Sly now. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. And that's off the right upright, and it bounces away no good. And the deficit will stay at 3 scores. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would 2-minute offense. This is what it...
Back now in Arlington. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Prescott. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 5. Prescott from the gun. And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. Well, that interception at least offers them a glimmer of hope here in the 4th quarter.
Well, it certainly does if their offense goes out now and makes it pay off by getting into the end zone. And if it does, then they get a chance to get back out on the field and try and do it again. Maybe they can force that offense into more and more mistakes and give them a chance to get back into this one totally.
They have still a 3-score hill to climb. We'll see if they can do it. They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. Howell out of the shotgun. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Checks this one down to Robinson. Touchdown! Brian Robinson Jr., a 14-yard touchdown. And the Commanders are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Howell throwing for it. And he'll find his way in for 2. And we're back to a 2-score game. The lead's cut to 16. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this 4th quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the 4th quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle. He's got room at the 30. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a 1st down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup. They had quite a hole to dig out of there on 3rd and long. Not able to get the first, but a pretty good-sized run.
A really good run. But how much confidence do you have in your next play call that you can sell to the head coach? Let's go get it on 4th down. Do you really have a play you believe in? Or are you just hopeful, and you got to sell it to the big man before it gets called?
The Cowboys signal for their third and final timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this fourth quarter. On to punt now, Anger, as he boots this one away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They are most likely staring at a cold end to their season here in this wild card round. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Marr on for the extra point. And that PAT pushes the lead up to 23 now. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And here comes a return from a few steps in. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Jordan Lewis. And the Cowboys are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
But based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Throwing here, Prescott. His throw incomplete. Well, fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Now Prescott on 4th down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jamin Davis. The 20. And he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown. So they go on 4th down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
Probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And they take a knee. They said beginning of the season they wanted to get past the wild card round. Well, they just got past the wild card round.
How about that, being able to put the big check marks up in the locker room, right? Yeah, you know, get to the wild card game. Check, got that done. Win a wild card game. Big check. Now you've got to go ahead and set your sights higher. There is a bigger prize out there, and they still have an opportunity.